I'm going to give you 4 steps you can take to stop cravings in their tracks, or at least make sure you're making the right decision regarding those cravings. And I'm going to start in 2 seconds. Welcome, I'm John of John Health and Fitness. I'm a certified health and fitness professional working in the Washington, D.C. area. Today we're going to talk about cravings. In fact, this is the first of a multi-part series. In this one, I'm going to talk about the 4 steps you can take to address cravings right when they begin. Before we get started, I am going to put timestamps down in the description so you can kind of skip around to the steps that interest you. And also I do have some disclaimers down there and at the end of this video if you'd like to check those out. Alright, let's get started. So I literally call these my 4 steps or step. Step number 1 is to just stop. Now not forever, that's too easy, right? I really mean just work a pause in. Don't give in to that impulse right away. You just want to stop. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes 30 seconds, a minute, maybe a few more, that's enough for that craving to go away, regardless of its source. Stopping for even a short period of time can be challenging, I know, especially if somebody hands you something at a party or platters are going by, but it's really important just to give it that one little moment. And that'll bring you to step 2, that is think. Think carefully about what it is you really want. Sometimes it's just something salty, but you really want to get more specific than that. I've made the mistake more than once of thinking I want something salty, grabbing something salty, eating that, and realizing, nope, that wasn't it. So then I'm sitting there, I've already had 200 calories of junk, and I still have the craving. So even if you end up giving into your craving later, if you think about what it is specifically, you can limit the damage to a great extent if you make sure that you're going to take the thing you really want. The thing you eat really is going to address that craving, kill it and make it go away, and that's the end of it. Step 3 is examine. This is where you have to get a little more thoughtful about it and really try to think why it is you have this craving. Is it simply because you're sitting next to the platter of bagels at a conference room? Well then, get up and move. That can help. It's because you happen to be having a conversation in the kitchen at a party where all the food is. Maybe go have a conversation with someone else in the dining room. Maybe it's just out of boredom. Maybe you can find some other way to distract yourself. Just go for a walk, remove yourself from the situation. One additional benefit to this part, where you're trying to examine why it is and see if you can actually remove yourself from the situation or change the situation so you're no longer having that craving, is that you've built in more time. Right? We already stopped, we thought about it, and now we're examining it. Again, the longer time you have, cravings do just go away sometimes. So maybe at this point, you're good. Either you've examined what the problem is, and you've moved yourself away from it or changed your situation, or enough time has passed, it's just, the craving is just passed. If not, finally, this is the toughest part, but I find one of the most effective tools I use, and that is project. By that I mean project yourself into the future. 5 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe even the next day. The key to this is to be able to get yourself past that craving. Let's say you assume you indulged in it, and then look back to see how you feel then. The real way this helps is it's kind of bringing in whatever the consequence is of that action to the present. You already know what the reward is, right? It's something you really want to eat, sweet, salty, what have you. You know what the immediate reward is. It's the pleasure of eating it. But if you can take the consequence of that and bring that right next to the reward, then you can examine them both side by side. This does take some practice. It's not an easy skill to learn, although it's very useful no matter what decision you make, what color you're going to paint your bedroom, what kind of car to buy. Think forward ahead. Am I going to be happy with this decision? Looking back. So those are your 4 steps. Stop, think, examine, and project. But that's not the end of it. One thing I've found that resisting a craving can often be as bad as giving into it. It just depends on the circumstances. We'll address that in part 2 of our craving video series. Before you go, leave some comments below if you've had any personal experiences or personal tips that have worked for you to battle these kinds of cravings. And please consider subscribing. We do exercise, nutrition, and motivation here. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll catch you next time.